How to promote your music on Apple Music with Ditto Music. So many artists out there focus on Spotify promo, but what about Apple Music? With over 72 million users, Apple Music is the world's second largest music streaming platform. So today we're going to talk about it. So if you want to build your fan base, get real listeners engaging with your music, and earn music money from royalties, stay tuned. But before you can dive into the promotional side of Apple Music, you'll first need to make sure that your music is available to stream on the platform first. So then this is a perfect time to tell you about Ditto Music. We have a 30-day free trial where you can release unlimited music on Apple Music plus loads of other major platforms like Spotify and even TikTok, and keep 100% of the royalties that you earn. Hit the link down below, the like button in the description to sign up and try it for yourself. Okay, so one last thing before we get started. I'm gonna need you guys to subscribe to the Ditto Music YouTube channel. I'm gonna need you to like, hit that notification bell so you do not miss a single video. Make sure you get down there and comment, drop any questions, and we'll get back to as many as we can. So let's get involved. Okay, so let's go. 8 Apple Music promotion tips for all you up-and-coming artists out there. Number 1, claim your Apple Music artist profile. So if you're putting music out on Apple Music, then you'll definitely need to sign up for Apple Music for Artists. Like Spotify for Artists, Apple Music for Artists is a service that gives you access to exclusive features that allow you to promote your music from inside the platform. Now I'm starting with this because for the majority of things that we're going to be talking about, then you'll need to be signed up for Apple Music for Artists. So if you haven't already, here's how you can claim and verify your Apple Music for Artists profile. So firstly, you're going to need to head over to artists.apple.com. And if you haven't got an account already, create one. Otherwise, log into your current profile and click the Request Artist Access button. Then go and find your artist link over there on the iTunes store, and then paste it into the text box. Select your artist name and press submit. Apple Music says it will verify your account within 48 hours or less. And usually it's way less than that, but you'll know when you see a tick appear next to your artist name on your profile, just like this. Once you're verified, you can get going with all the next tips. So let's get into it officially. Create a track preview tweet. Track preview tweets are like online taster sessions for your music, specifically for Twitter. They're essentially 30-second audio clips that you can make from any tracks you've already uploaded and released on Apple Music, which you can then publish to your Twitter page and your feed. The point here is to give listeners a sneaky preview of your song, and then if they like it, they can go and listen to the full track on Apple Music. So as you can tell, it's a really great way to drive traffic and followers from your Twitter profile over to your Apple Music account and create a bit of a buzz along the way. You can upload some cover art to go along with your track preview too, and then pin it to the top of your profile so Twitter users can see it as soon as they land on your page. Just know that you can only make track preview tweets for a single song. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to promote a whole body of work like albums or even playlists. Design your own badges and icons. So badges and icons make your music globally recognizable, which is especially important if you've got fans all over the world who speak different languages. And badges are usually text-based, so usually artists or band names. Icons are more imagery-based, so think color schemes, logos, and even artwork. Apple Music lets you customize badges and icons, and they're available in over 42 languages. And this is all to help global listeners create an association between your music and your brand. Before you start designing any, make sure that you've checked over Apple Music's identity guidelines so you don't go and break any of their rules. And after you've made them, you can practically share them anywhere in your Apple Music profile, in your marketing materials, socials, other music apps, your website, and even print promo if you wanted. And you can even embed them as identifiable links to your songs, album on Apple Music and across your socials and websites. And here's how you make them. So you're gonna need to go to tools.applemediaservices.com/Apple-music. Search for and select the song or the album that you want to promote from your Apple Music dashboard. Then you're going to need to scroll down to the badges and lockup section. From here, you can then customize the design. color scheme and language for the Listen on Apple Music badge. It's created, so now press download to save it. And then you can start adding it to your marketing materials, like on your press releases, any press photos, album art, and anything else. And if you want to embed it on your website or socials, then literally click Copy Embed to copy the URL code to your clipboard and then paste it onto your website. Make an embeddable player. An embeddable player is similar to a track preview tweet in that it's only a 30-second preview of your song, but the difference here is that it can be added to any site that also accepts that code. This means that listeners who aren't signed up to Apple Music can still listen to your preview, and you can preview more than just a single track, like an album or even a playlist here. For listeners who don't have an Apple Music account, they can listen to your songs in full without ever having to leave the website or go to stream it over there on the app. So it's definitely worthwhile making one, whichever the case. And if you want to make one of those also, here's how you do it. Again, I'm gonna need you to head over to tools.applemediaservices.com/Apple-music. You're gonna need to search for the song or album that you want to embed. Scroll down to the preview player section and edit the dimensions to choose your height and width. And again, you'll need to click copy embed to copy the embed code to your clipboard, and then you can paste it and add it to your website. So the next one is all about generating links to your website. Arguably the number one and most obvious way to send listeners to your song, album, or even a playlist on Apple Music is through direct links. And this might seem very obvious, but they are basically an easy win. They're really easy to do and you can share them practically anywhere. Plus you can even create shortened links to send them out in emails and include them on your social media as well. And I mean, if you don't know how, no problem. Here's how to generate a link to your music on Apple Music. So go to Apple Music Marketing Tools, search for the song or the album that you want to promote from your uploads, scroll down to content link, and if you want a shortened URL, scroll down to short link and click generate short link and then press copy. So we're moving on now, people. Build a following on the platform. Building a strong online following is what's basically going to drive fans over to your music on Apple Music and keep them coming back. The best way of doing this is by syncing all of your social media profiles with your Apple Music profile by including a link to your Apple Music profile in your social media or streaming bio. And that way you'll be able to drive different followings from other platforms directly to your tracks on Apple Music, whether that's from Instagram, TikTok, or wherever else followers hang out online. And if you want to go a step further, show some support to a fellow artist that you would consider that's on your level. Another artist that might be sharing their music on Apple Music too. Give them a follow on the socials and start building those creative connections. If you're really into their track, you can even give them a shout out, a mention on your socials, and they might return the favor. And this will help you build up not just followers and listeners, but also a community of like-minded artists as well, which then will help you expand your own network of fans. Another tip is to upload music consistently. The more music and songs and albums that you can put out on Apple Music, the higher your chances are of doing better on that platform. And that's just the facts with any platform. Regular releases means listeners are way less likely to get bored or even forget about you. I mean, thousands of new tracks are uploaded to Apple Music daily. So the competition is tough. But once you've started to build your fan base, it's going to be so much easier to stay visible in their streaming space when you've got a regular uploading and marketing strategy pinned down. And don't worry, if you've only just started releasing music or you're struggling to put out more music without compromising quality, remixes, cover versions are really creative ways to put out more music that's still high standard and keeps you relevant without burning yourself out. All right, so last but definitely not least, get playlisted. Like Spotify, Apple Music has hundreds of highly followed, curated playlists in different styles and genres that get regularly updated. But unlike Spotify, Apple Music's public playlists are instead curated by Apple Music's in-house editorial team, which basically means there's no official playlisting pitching process. Nothing like what Spotify would offer, unless you're on good terms with the Apple Music curator and you submit your music personally through them. So although Apple Music doesn't accept playlist submissions directly, but there's still things that you can do to boost your chances on getting on one of their public playlists. Verifying your profile is one of the most obvious ones. Apple Music curators look and see who's serious about their music, and the verified profile gives you and your music a sense of legitimacy. So like we mentioned at the start, make sure that you've claimed your Apple Music profile early on. Growing your following both on and off platform is another big one. Posting links to your Apple Music across the web and on your socials shows curators that you're not only working to build an online presence, but you're also sending more musics to their platform. And realistically, that's what they all want. And there we go, people. 8 tips that you can start using to really capitalize on your Apple Music promo strategy and win more fans, followers, streams of your music in-app and elsewhere too.